Welcome to today's lesson, Introducing Geometry, with a focus on basic figures. Now, by definition, we know geometry as a branch of mathematics that studies the interesting relationships caused by the size and shape of objects. Every real-life object or figure can be broken down into a few basic geometric terms. So let's talk about those terms. We can first start off with a point. It is literally a point out in space, a dot, if you will. We can talk about a line, any distance between 2 points that extends indefinitely in each direction. A ray, 2 points, and extends indefinitely in one direction. And of course, a plane, a flat surface that encompasses an infinite amount of points. So with these figures, let's work on naming them. How do we name them when we look at them on paper to compare and contrast? Well, I can talk about point P, and I literally describe it as point P. Each point comes with its own letter. Usually we use letters in the English alphabet or the Latin alphabet, if you will. If I'm looking at line AB, I describe it as line, and I talk about the 2 points on that line. So line AB or AB with the line above it, making sure I put 2 arrows since it is going indefinitely in each direction. If I have a ray that's going in one direction, again, I can discuss it as ray AB, but I'll use the AB and just put the arrow over the B to show that it is going in the direction of that point B. Again, it is important to remember that lines and rays will go in their directions into infinity. Line segments, on the other hand, have 2 endpoints. They start at one point and end at another. In this case, we have line segment AB. Our line starts at A and ends at B, so as we draw it, we use the 2 endpoints. Draw a line above it with no arrows to signify it does not go on forever. With line segments and lines, we get angles, and that is the intersection of 2 lines that create an angle. So if I have these 2 lines, what I'm highlighting here in red would be the angle, or just one of the angles created by these 2 lines. I'm putting an arrow to it, but I could also have another angle here, another there. In total, these 2 intersecting lines create 4 angles. An angle really is 2 rays with a vertex. As I highlight here, that point that's in the middle where the 2 rays meet is that vertex. So if I can name segments, of course I can name angles. I look at an angle with 3 points on it. I can just use those 3 points to name it. Angle with the small angle symbol A, B, C. Now it's very important that my letter in the middle is the vertex letter. So because B is the vertex of that angle, B must be in the middle. I could say angle CBA, but I must make sure that B is in the middle because, again, it is the vertex. So let's practice naming some figures. Here are 3 figures. Let's, again, look at what I have. Well, I'll have an angle with X, M, and D, so I would call it angle XMD, making sure M is in the middle. Here it looks like I have a ray, so I will do RS, again with the ray symbol above it facing towards the S. And here I have line segment TX, so I will put T and an X and making sure that I don't have arrows. Implications, well, my segments will have measurements. They will have real life measurements like meters, feet, and miles and be part of grander figures. My angles will measure in degrees to discuss their width, as both of these are some of the basic building blocks to all the figures we have in our known world.